So this is Matt. We're actually in Czech Republic today, and we're going to be working on his shoulder, and obviously he has some knee issues as well. We're going to do that in the next episode. But right now we're just going to focus on your shoulder. What is, you have a tear, supraspinatus tear?
Yeah, MRI suggested that, but I think it's sort of just a tired old shoulder from a lot of overhead sports. It's been bothering me off and on for a couple of years, but more acutely for the last year. I ended up getting a cortisone shot in it last spring. It actually
Felt better, but
felt
now,
great.
But now it's back to where...
And all summer it felt great. I was playing tennis with my son, going easy, but even lightly serving overhead, no pain. And then, middle of August, about 4 months after the shot, came right back. And
That's the problem with the cortisone, is that you think it's better, it just takes the pressure off it, but until he fixes the parts in the shoulder that we're going to go through today, and you've seen in other videos, but if you look at his shoulder from the side, go, just totally relax.
Yep.
Look at this thing, it's jack forward. So we're going to really talk today about how to drop this back and down and not doing the regular PT stuff where you pull like this and then push down, because it's physically impossible to push your shoulder down. So we're going to talk today about how to actually get the shoulder to push down and then being able to start roll it back. We're going to start just with our main foundation exercises, because that's what we need to do today. So let's put this up a little bit higher here. So that's good, like 30 degrees. You just don't want to be at 45. You want to be below. And go ahead on here.
we do the left shoulder first or the right?
What's your
The bad one's the right one.
Let's start with, I actually like starting with the good one so you can feel what each side feels like. It doesn't matter. Go ahead. Now, you can start the climb off, like if they have knee or back problems, I start like this. But if you've seen in other videos, I'll show you where I actually just put one leg on. I feel like you can, as you get to another level, it just feels better to be able to move and kind of turn yourself down, but we'll show you that. So what I'm looking for here is we're gonna touch here, and we're gonna get 5 or 6 inches out from the side here to start, where he can keep his shoulder down. If he moves up too far, I want you to watch this. Try to keep that down. Do you see, look at his trap, it keeps moving. For me, I can keep the shoulder completely down and I can move it all the way up here and turn my body down. But for him, if he goes up any higher than that, his trap's going to start lifting here, and now he's not going to be able to get onto the delt. So we're going to start, we just want to work the root edge. I'll show you exactly where you want to feel this. We're going to go here, 5 or 6 inches out. That's where he can keep it down. We're going to drop, and I just want you to hold this here. I want you to find your end point of the exercise, okay? And we're trying to feel the back cap of the shoulder here, right here.
And in there?
You don't want to feel your teres. You just want to feel here. Turn down just a little bit. That'll help too. Right there. I want you to feel right there. Okay, so you're coming too far out. Exactly. Did you see what happened there with the shoulder? Did you see how now that? Go ahead, move it out. Well, see, it starts rolling. It starts rolling. This is where he actually has to start. If he moves with it too high, go ahead, move high. Look at the trap. It starts shrugging that way, okay? So he literally, that's how high he needs to go, and if he's gonna come down, he literally needs to go here. That's his true range of motion to start. Go ahead, up and down, let's do 50. Nope, you can't go any higher, because if you go too high, look what happens to your trap. Does that make sense? So you need to start right here, turn down just a little bit, and you gotta take this arm, bring it around here so you can, there you go. So here, down, up. Go ahead. Without that moving. Nope, he's starting to come out this way. Stay right there. Go ahead. That's his start point where he can stay in control. Do you feel it here? You feel it and you're totally in your trap. You're not ready to move. So I just want you to come here and just freeze. You need to turn this on here. Feel it?
No, yeah.
Now he feels it. You can't move with it. He's got no range of motion. So this is the exact spot he needs to be in order for him to activate. He can't move with it, because when he does, the shoulders just start shifting. So we need to find the exact spot. Here it is. And if you come around, babe, let's show exactly where you want to feel this. If you just, okay, so see how he's just a little bit out. And then if we move back around and show the top of the shoulder here. He wants to feel it. Just get right over top. Right here, the back. Not where it connects into the trap. He's fried. That's good. Okay? We want to connect here, right to the back cap of the shoulder. Not here. Here. Okay, let's do the other side. Come here. Just touch it to the thigh, 5 or 6 inches out. Push the shoulder down. That's where I want you to be. Don't even try to move with it. I want you to try to fire that right there. You feel it there?
Yep.
Good. If you can straighten the arm out, or did it feel better when it was a little bent?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so sometimes I want it completely straight as it get better, but sometimes you just got to let it bend a little bit. Again, we're looking for activation. He just doesn't have any range. Back cap, boom, that's perfect. So I'm going to have him hold it for probably the next 3 sessions, and then you're going to see. I got to see if we have time to do another video on it. I don't think we're going to be back in the States. But we want to just hold this for like 40 seconds. And I'm going to have him just be holding it twice a week for the next 2 weeks, just holding. And by that time, then, by doing this and the other exercises, the range of motion should improve, and then he can start micro-moving with it where he just comes down and up. But for right now, like, we just have to get connected here. Okay. So one of the issues with this style stance, okay, we did this because of his knee, is, do you see how straight he is? You need to be a little bit more, you need to be turned down just slightly here. You can't be completely vertical, because then what's going to happen is you're going to start involving more your teres and your tricep, okay? So he started feeling it right here, right? Because he was too much this way. So we got to get a little turned down. And now, right there, and now you should be good. Better? Mm-hmm. Okay. So now he's got it, 5, 6 inches out from here, and now you're on that, feeling it there. And another thing you can do is drop the leg back and show that. So this isn't hurting his knee. I think on the other side it might. But now with that leg back, it's just easier than you just naturally, you don't want to turn down too much, just a tiny little bit, just a little bit of an angle. You see what I'm saying? Feel it? Mm-hmm. All right, he's good. So one of the biggest we're going to show you Matt, okay, doing this exercise, but I just want to talk a little bit about posture. One of the biggest misconceptions. Here's what I see. People go to the PTs and their shoulders are like this, okay? They're up and they're forward, and then they go to the PTs, and the PTs get their shoulders to go back, but they're still up, so they end up looking like this. They're pinched back with their rhomboids and their traps, okay, but their shoulders are lifted up. You want the shoulder to anchor down and then be able to roll it back. We want the humerus head to fully depress and learn to depress in this position, not roll back, actually slightly roll forward, depress. And then when we roll back, look, over time, like 3 or 4 weeks of being able to be in this position, then when we roll back, now the scapula can start going down because you've got the humerus head to drop first, and you develop that depression, and this muscle here, your teres major, and you're working the downward depressors, teres minor, infraspinatus, subscapula, and we get this really strong for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then I tell the client roll back, and when they roll back, it actually goes down. Everyone else, you tell them to roll back when they first start, it's going to go up, and now you're going to see Matt, and you're going to see just that. The first thing is just bend the knees a hair. Keep your back. Don't lean forward too much. You want to just keep your butt back, but you want to stay upright. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this arm here. Yeah, you got to be directly to the side of his body. Yep. And let's get you this way. That's perfect. Okay. If I'm going to put him in position, I'm going to show you what to do wrong. But you want this elbow basically right to the front of the shoulder there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, if you notice too, if you turn, the ear now is in line with the center line of the shoulder, and now I can depress good. Do you see how it can drop now? And then we're going to turn this on right here. Okay, that's it appears more like muscle, but that's his scap also pushing out too. So over time, we're going to get this to flatten against there. But this is where he can push down. Now watch. just keep your elbow in position, try to roll your shoulder back. I want you to watch what, do you see what it did? It went up at an angle. So now all we're doing is we're just getting the trap to work. And that's what PTs do. They get you here and they say push down. Well, it's physically impossible. So now I want to here so I can push down, and then I can take then the scapula is pushing down, and that's what we want. We want the scaps to come down. Well, it's impossible if you're pushed back and you're going like that. That's why we start here, and now I can get a scapula to depress along with that. That's where he has to start for the next like 4 weeks. I'm going to have him do this like 3 times a week, and I'm not even going to have him move it. I'm just going to have him hold. Yeah, he's a little bit too out this way. We'll get from behind so you can see that. Okay, take a little rest break. Let's go from behind so they can see that angle. So we want to just have a little gap here. You can fit your hand through. That's perfect. Okay, and if you notice when he pushes down, I'm going to actually, he's not tilted enough, so to increase, I'm going to have him tilt this way just a little bit. I want you to take this hand, just kind of put it here. Pull this side back, but don't let your whole body turn when you do. Just engage this side just a little bit and tilt a little bit more. Did you feel that? And pop that. Feel? Good. Right there. A little bit more in front with the elbow, not with your, right there. Good? Feel it here? Or you're losing it?
I'm losing it.
Okay, rear is tired. Let's do the other side. Okay, go ahead into position. So so we're gonna go here, elbow in front of the hip. I'm gonna push down, ear. You can roll back a little. Okay, on this side, it's starting to drop and angle back. Why? Because he plays tennis. So when you play tennis, you're gonna pull with this left side. Any throwing sport, you throw, so the right shoulder rounds forward, this pulls back. So you're gonna see this is gonna naturally be able to get into that, more into that 45 drop. He's got a little bit of work to do, but you can see how much that's starting to drive down this way, where the other side just wants to go up and forward this way. So this is actually pretty good, and you can see the muscle development here. If we go from behind here, look at how developed that is on this side. The other side is nowhere near that size. Look at that. That's pretty good. Okay, let's do the other side. Pretty good. The problem right now is he's trying to go back too far with this elbow. When in the initial stages, when you're here in the initial stages, if this elbow isn't in front of the shoulder, okay, you see I had nothing there when I started. You can see that pop. If this elbow starts coming back this way at all, the shoulder's going to start lifting. So in order to depress it down, it has to be here. Then we depress down. Then over time, we start rolling it back. Again, like a 3 or 4 week period, doing this like 3 or 4 days a week, just holding it for 30 seconds. Then the client's going to start being able to go this way with the shoulder rather than this way. We don't even want him moving with him. Like literally for the next 3 weeks, he's just going to learn how to hold. Nope. Do you see how I just moved that? If we move this here, now push it down. Do you see how you can depress it down more? Now,
like here, it doesn't work.
Yeah, right there. Now I can push there. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Now it's right in front. Maybe if you get a little bit more to the side, because I can't see that angle. I got to be here. You see how the elbow now right in the front of the shoulder? Now push. Feel? Mm-hmm. Right there. So everyone thinks, oh, I'm rounding my shoulder forward and then I'm pushing down. No, he's not. He's keeping his scapula engaged. We're just putting the humerus head in the correct position in relation to his scapula. The scapula is like this. We want to attach that humerus head to the scapula and drop it down. And then, over the next month, then, at the end of the month, he's going to be able to start rolling it back and down. Rest, that's good. Just talk about what you feel.
I guess because I don't activate it as much on the right side. It's just harder for me to even feel it when I'm doing that exercise. And I guess because the left one's stronger,
right? Because he's pulling through.
It's easier to just feel it right away. Where this time I have to concentrate or
right,
find
because
it
this
a little
one,
more.
if you look at this, just from a relaxed state, go ahead, completely relaxed. Look at how forward this shoulder is. Okay, look at that. Now, if we go to the other side, if we compare apples to apples, just from a look at that. So it's back like an inch. Why? Because of the swinging, and he pulls through with this side. That's just the reality. So he's not going to feel it perfect today in this session, but we're putting him in the right position. After he does this for the next 2 weeks, then you're going to see a big difference. and he's going to start being able to really feel it. And by the 3rd week, he's going to really have an understanding. And then by the 4th week, it's going to really start dropping, and he's going to start being able to roll it back. But we're just staying in this position now. Go ahead, do another reset on the right. Good. Yep, right there. That's perfect. Okay, because I got his elbow so far forward, there, he's keeping his posture, but his scap is like this. So how do I attach the humerus to the scap to get it to drop? I have to have this elbow here. Now watch, pull the elbow back and watch. Do you see what happens? It's starting, do you feel that? How it starts lifting and going, that's why you're here. And now, boom. This is where the exact position is with the humerus head and the scap for him to push down. He goes back any farther, it's going to start rounding like this, and then you lose it. You see? So you got to be here. Right there. Bam. Feel? Now he's on it. Now he gets it. So it took about the 3rd set, and now he understands, and now you guys do too. It's got to be in front. I'm keeping his posture by arching. If he folds like this, yeah, then the shoulder's going to be like this. You're going to ruin it. That's perfect. Get the elbow in front a little bit more. Right there. Do you feel the difference? There, 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 there. Yes. Okay, rest. You got it. So with this exercise here, here's our armpit. If we slide back underneath, I want the client to feel it here, right in the infraspinatus. Okay, I don't want him to feel it in the front of the shoulder. I don't want him to feel the side of the shoulder. If they feel, a lot in the rear delt to start, that's fine. I just don't want them to feel it in the front or side, and eventually we want 100% feeling here. So I'm going to start off. How much did you start by yourself with?
I tried 2 actually, but I'm fine. We'll start with 1.
See this elbow? Here's the center of his hip. I want to move it a little bit, right? So it's center line with the hip. Okay. The other thing we're doing is this is at 90 degrees. It appears. See how this is at 90? If I move it forward, it's still at 90, but now the wrist appears like it's inside the bicep, but it's still a 90-degree angle. That's what we're going to move on. And now, so I don't want him coming up any higher than this. He's just, if you move more to the center line of his body, yep, right there. He's just going to drop it down, and he's going to come up to there. He's going to go very short range just to make sure that everything is perfect for him. Yep, that's good. You feel it in that spot?
Yeah, right there.
So he's actually not feeling it in the correct spot. He's feeling it more into his, sorry, I'm like trying to hold this. I'm just going to put this here. We're trying to get more professional, so we have all these gadgets, but it's hard with your shirt off. He needs to feel it here. He's feeling it more into the, you're feeling it like there, yeah? You want to feel it under that.
Okay.
It's not the teres, everyone thinks this is the teres major. No, it's underneath that. It's here. Okay, so here, and he might not feel it today. Connect here.
Yep.
Got it? Once I point it to the muscle, then his mind could make that connection. It's not.
Am I pushing down like with my shoulder?
I wouldn't try to push too hard down. You can push down a little bit, but the main thing is just try to think about that muscle. He doesn't have any anchoring system right now, so everything's up and forward. So when he goes to do this, it's very hard. So we got to get the teres developed, the thumb down raise developed, and then he's going to get better connection to this. Nothing?
Yeah. No, I'm feeling
a little bit.
It's taking me a while to sort of
okay, let's
connect
do the other
it.
side. Here to here. Don't think about it so much.
Yep.
With this, it's going to turn, as long as you're not going up too high or too low and you're just kind of just staying in the zone, it's going to turn on as long as you get all these other muscles going over the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
So my goal is as long as the client's not feeling the front, by the time they get to the end of 2 weeks, they'll start feeling in the back. So I don't really worry about it. I just go through and just find a weight where they're not feeling in the front or the side of the shoulder. I'm comfortable with that, but make their mind go to this muscle and think about that. The left side you feel more, right?
Yeah, and I start to feel the sort of burning sensation in there, even though I almost don't feel the muscle.
So exactly. So, and that's how it is. It's kind of deeper underneath the shoulder. But here's his left side again. Why? Because he's more anchored on the left side, just like you learned over there. He's more anchored. He can roll it back and down on the left side. So that's why he can get into the rotator cuff. On the right side, because it's forward and it's up, much harder. So it's going to take a little bit more time. Let's do the other side. And I'm just starting them off with Some clients, if they start feeling the front or side of the shoulder, I go to like a 2 kilo or even a 1. I'm going 1.5 right now. If it starts irritating them at all, I just go down to the 1 kilo. 1 kilo, 2 pounds, or a 3-pound dumbbell. So basically we're using 2 and 3, and if it's really severe, we'll go with 1. As long as you're not feeling in the front, that's all I care about right now. Feels okay?
Yep.
And you can push down a little bit. You still want to be too aggressive with your push down, like 5%, just that feeling, and then just so it's a little anchored.
Yeah, because that's when I did it on my own, I made the mistake of pushing it down too hard and then felt it was all there.
Yeah, it's going to end up being like that when you push down too hard, so you got to watch it. Yeah, just don't come that high. There it goes. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Good?
Yep.
So 15, 20 reps, 3 sets, twice a week with this exercise, and this one. And then because he's so weak, I'm going to do a 3rd day with him where he does this one and the thumb down raise. But I don't like doing this more than twice a week because this one, you can start irritating the shoulder. But eventually when he gets strong enough, I do everything twice a week because that's all you need, because you're going to need the recovery. The problem most people have is they'd say, oh, I want to do this every day. I want to get this strong. Well, if your technique's off and you're doing it, all you're going to do is cause compensations. You're going to get more irritated, and then you get no results. So if you do it twice a week, you have that recovery time where the shoulder structure starts changing, and then when you do it, you're less likely to cause compensations. So that's why we only do it twice a week. But once the client understands the technique, if there is a weakness, you can do it 3 times, and then generally we back down to twice a week again once he gets stronger in those positions. But this one, there's only certain ones you want to do 3 times a week. This one is not one of them. So you have a supraspinatus tear, and there's no pain with any of the exercises we did, correct? So the reason that is because we're working on the weaknesses. So we're working around the thing that gets injured. You shouldn't feel, with any of these exercises, you shouldn't feel where the pain is. You should feel where the weakness is in the correct muscle, so all the pressure's off the thing that's injured. That's what we're doing when we're doing this, and that's why it's so effective. So this is pants pulls. All right. He's not ready on his right shoulder because it's too far forward, it's not anchored down. So we really need another solid 3 weeks to get the shoulder anchored down more. Then when he does the pants pull exercise, his shoulder's not going to lift and he's going to get into the trap. I know you've seen other YouTube videos where I talk about, the value of training this muscle independently of the teres, but in all reality, like certain clients just can't do that, and I can already tell he's just not ready. But I'm going to show you that when we try to do this, he's not going to feel the right spot, all right? So, and I'll show you the spot, but let's just get him in position. So go ahead and grab here. I want you to touch like this, good. Lean over, yeah. So if we look at the side here, what I want this to do is I want it to, round. We're going to take it out to the side, and we're going to push the elbow out just a little bit. And if you come over top, okay, I want him to feel it right here. And he has kind of a muscle developed here a little bit. So he actually might feel it in this spot. I might have been incorrect. If we go to the front, just so they can see from the front. So this shoulder is going to be rounded down. Do you feel it there?
I do feel a little bit.
Okay, so we actually can start with this. So I was wrong. So that's good. Sometimes if there's no development here, then it's impossible. But he actually has some development. You can stay a little bit more upright. Yeah, right there. Is that better? Mm-hmm. And the elbow's pushed out. This wrist, you don't want to be like this. His wrist kind of pushes that way, and then he pushes out. And then this hand's in the center line of the body. He can be a little tighter in. Okay, let's do the other side. The other side should be even easier to activate, and let's see. Yeah, it's twice the size. Twice the size of that. So this is, again, it's all from pulling. And now he can really understand, you know,
And shoulders.
not that far forward. You'll get the feel. Just connect to that. Where's that connection? But if we look, turn to the side just so they can see. This, I want it dig. I want it down. I don't want him pinch back and watch what happens. You feel how you get the trap now? I don't want the trap, so I got to lay that down. Okay, forward as this elbow comes. I don't want this rolling up. Go ahead, roll it back. I don't want that. I want that. Now he's on that muscle right there. And if you look over top, I mean, this is twice the size. Yeah, right into this zone right here. That's where he's trying to feel it. Okay, rest, that's good. You're too leaned over. Yeah, just, it's lean from here. Yeah, go ahead. Ready? You can lean over a little bit more, right there. Feels okay there? There you go. So if he wanted to move with it, he's gonna drop it down, and then he's gonna come up to this spot. But I don't like moving with the clients for the first like 2 weeks because then they just get off the spot. So this is just easier to really understand. Once he understands the connection, then it's easier. Drop it up, because he's held for 2 weeks. Then when he comes up, he understands exactly where to stop. The biggest mistake people make is they go way up. Where do you feel it now? Here, any trap? Yeah. So he's got to stay here, a little bit below the waistline here. If we look from the side, or we'll just turn. So look at how low he is. The higher he comes up, the more this is going to want to round up. So we need to stay here in order to keep it down. Now he's on the muscle. Feel it? He's perfect. Notice how the hands are turning just a little bit. Okay, that's good. Rest. So those are the 4 main exercises that I start people off with for the first 4 weeks. And everyone's like, I want to lift, I want to lift, I want to lift. Great, go get hurt. You have a tear. Let's get these built up. And then what I do is I have a really basic lifting program. I don't like bench, but tries, buys, when they get to that 4-5 week mark, and a little bit more row. And then when they get to that 2-month block, and I know all these things are built up, and there's also other exercises we add in. They're called elbow pulls, okay? And we have a different pull down exercise to work the teres major. Once all those are built up, usually by that 6-8 week mark, then I can say, okay, let's go dumbbell bench, not barbell bench, dumbbell bench, start getting the tissue to understand what it's like to work with all these new muscles. And now they're ready to start going into a regular lifting program. So usually around the 8 week to 12 week mark, some clients need even more time, depending how screwed up they are. But we're looking at 8 weeks, and you can probably start benching at that point. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching. And tune in for next week for next episode, because we're going to talk about his knee and how we're going to help to fix that. We'd like to thank Hotel Botanic for letting us use their space. This is just a nice size gym. It's perfect. If you're in any type of hotel, if you could have a gym like this would be fabulous. I mean, they got every nice dumbbell. They got some, a nice cable machine, some of these other exercise equipment over here. This is all you really need, like if you're traveling. This is great.